I'm gonna try something new and hopefully it works out. If not, then it's not the end of the world. My car's not in perfect shape anyways. But I'm gonna be trying to wet sand my car and trying to get some of the finer scratches out. I really want this paint to pop, but you know, like I said, I just want it to look better. It's not perfect, but there's scratches in there that I want to try to get rid of. And I don't know if you can see them or not, but I mean, they're like little hairline scratches. Let me try to, whoa. I don't know, it may not pick it up on camera, but trust me, they're there. So let's swap this back. So I got 3 grades of sandpaper with me today. I have what I'm going to start off with, which is 2000 grit. It doesn't say it on here, but trust me, it is. I got 2000, 3000, and then to finish it off with 5000. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to clean off the surface that I'm going to be working on. I already have before. I just have like a little water bottle full of water. Just going to spray this down and give her a good wipe down. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to be sanding this down anyways. But one thing that I have noticed, and I try to keep my car as clean as I can, and I want the paint to be as perfect as it can be, as I can get it, but microfiber towels, I need to start looking into different ones, because I've noticed that these can actually leave hairline scratches or micro scratches in the paint too. So I've got the paint wiped down, and I'm just going to spray it down one more time, just get the surface wet. But before I do that, I taped off this little area right here, and I taped around my headlight or tail light so I wouldn't scratch that up. And I guess here is my first pass. I don't know if you can tell the difference, because I'm kind of in a bit of a shadow and the lighting is really overexposed, but you can see how like hazy it is now, if you can see it, compared to the rest of the paint. A little glossy, pretty hazy. A little glossy, pretty hazy. So that's the first step. So I'll just kind of go over it again. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, other than I guess the swirls should be gone and it should be like a uniform finish. So I'm gonna spray this down again. And another thing you want to, at least I've heard you want to do, is keep your area clean. So you don't want this to be really chalky. That way your sandpaper doesn't get all mucked up and you're just rubbing scratches into the paint rather than taking it out. So got that lubricated, spray it again. Then I'm gonna lubricate this 2000 grit sandpaper. Just gonna keep going back and forth like this. I'm not putting any pressure on the pad at all, or any like downforce, other than just holding it to the surface. And I'm just going back and forth very slowly, kind of north to south at a diagonal angle, I guess. And that's all I've been doing so far. Hopefully this is what I'm supposed to do. But keep going like this. Then I'm gonna stop, spray the area down, wipe it off. Gotta keep it as clean as I can. And spray down my sanding paper so it doesn't get all mucked up. And just go at it again. I'm pretty sure this 2000 step is pretty good, but I'm just gonna keep going at it. So when you're starting to see this like milky white stuff pouring off the car, that's actually pieces, or you're actually sanding down the clear coat. So that's what you're seeing. Like I said, I'm not putting any pressure on the pad at all, other than just holding it to the surface. Just going back and forth in uniform strokes. In a diagonal angle. I don't know if it makes a difference if you go like this, or like this, or go up and down like that, but I'm just gonna keep it, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing all the way through. And, you know, if you have better results, or you know a better way of doing it, definitely post that in the comments below, because I want to get better and learn how to do this. But like I said, my paint's not in perfect condition. I just wanted to look better than this. Alright, so now that I'm done with that 2000 grit step, I'm going to bump it up to 3000. Hopefully you can see that. This 3000 is very, very soft, almost like leather. But I'm gonna spray this surface down, and I don't know if you really need to keep it lubricated for 3000 and 5000. It's really, really soft. And just like before, I'm doing uniform motion, just, you know, no pressure on the pad really, other than just keeping it to the surface and kind of up and down, short strokes. And just keep going with that. So I'm on like my, I don't know, maybe 4th or 5th pass with the 3000 grit. And basically what you're looking for, or at least what I think you're looking for, is you want to make sure that the 3000 grit has sanded out all of the previous 2000 grit. So you really couldn't see any scratches. I mean, you could see how hazy it was. You really didn't see any scratches, but you can definitely tell that this 3000 grit is starting to bring back some of that gloss, which I'm assuming means I'm sanding out that 2000 grit. So like I said, this is about my 5th pass, I guess you could call it. Like I said, zero pressure on it. Maybe, I mean, I'm putting enough pressure on this pad. I'm putting about the same amount of pressure I'd put on a pencil to write my name on a piece of paper. I mean, it literally takes 0 to no pressure at all. Just letting the sandpaper do all of the work. And just keep going on. So I'm gonna say that this 3000 grit stage is done, and I'm gonna move up to 5000 grit and see what happens from there. All right, so now I'm bumped up to 5000 grit, and I mean, 5000 is very, very soft. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's 5000 grit. I mean, it feels about as soft as like a, I mean, it's got a look, you can definitely feel there's a little grit to it, but I mean, it's about as soft as a cover or a pillow. So this is dried up. I'm going to spray it down again. I've already wiped it off. I'm going to spray down this sanding block, sanding pad, whatever you want to call it, and go back at it. I mean, this stuff is so soft, it really doesn't feel like it's doing anything, but I can kind of tell that the gloss is coming back. I mean, this pad is about as soft as like a cat's paw. It really is that soft. I mean, it's literally almost as soft as this little handle that I'm using. Alright, so here I have a drill with a little 3-inch pad on it. This pad feels like, it's from 3M, but it feels more like a sponge. I have 2 other pads, one that's more like a foam, and then another one that's really soft for the wax, whatever. But hopefully this, I do actually have a dual action polisher, and I wish I had the one I have is a 6-inch, which is just way too big for this little bitty area. But it has a Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad on it, which I really like because I like that cutting power that it has. With these, I feel like they do work. I'm not saying that they don't. I just feel like they take longer, and that's just really it. And with this drill, you're limited to how much speed you can use, but this should be enough to get the job done. And let's get started. So I'm just gonna put. So here's what I was talking about earlier. This is Meguiar's 105 Ultra Cut. Just gonna shake it up a little bit. This is a 3-inch pad. I'm not gonna put very much on here because a little bit goes a long way on this little guy, especially with because I feel like I don't want it to sling everywhere, and the compound or whatever you want to call this, it kind of seeps into the pores of this pad. So I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. I did just clean this pad, so it's a little wet. Might fling a little water everywhere, but we'll see where this gets us. Just going to spread it out a little bit. And start off slow and work my way up. Alright, so now that I got it spread out fairly well, I'm gonna just release it, send it, and really crank up the speed. with just that step right there, I see 0 scratches in the paint, and that may just be because the way the sun's sitting and this spoiler kind of creates a little bit of a shade. But I don't see any sanding marks. I don't see any swirls or anything, and I'll definitely be able to tell the difference when I pull off this piece of tape. So I'll buff this off. I'm gonna give it one more round of the 105 and then go to the polish. All right, so here's what I'll be using next. This is Meguiar's 205 polishing compound. I don't know why I couldn't think of that earlier. So this is a 205. I'm just gonna give it a good shake, 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 shake. Get my hood in, shake it all the time. And I will be using this kind of orangish pad on here. I'm gonna put like 3 little dabs on here and see what we get. So here we go, 3 little dabs on here, because with this 3-inch pad, I mean 3 definitely goes a long way. I want to minimize how much I'm slinging everywhere. And I did wash this pad earlier, so it's a little soft, so I might get some water out of it. But line up this camera. We're gonna spread it out first, like so. Everywhere. Start off slow, then increase the speed. And like I said, I'm putting about as much pressure as you put on a pillow to check to see how soft it is. So not very much pressure at all. Just letting the pad and the machine and the compound, I guess it's the polish, do all the work. Alright, so I didn't get to record much on the 205 step because my camera was overheating. I'm outside in the sun, so damn you Samsung for not making a camera that can't stay cool. But I'm going to peel this off and see the before and after. Before and after. I'm going to wipe this down. Get this little polishing mark off here, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. And man, I wish I could get close enough to this where you could see. So here's where I started at, and there's a polishing mark right there, and there's the rest of the paint. So what do you guys think? So that was I think it looks awesome. I'm gonna do the rest of the car like this. I'm off. That's wet sanding for you, the best I could do it. Hopefully you all learned something and enjoyed this video. We're up to like 283 subscribers, which is crazy. Who would have thought that 283 people would ever care about what I put on YouTube or the internet, unless they just hit it by accident. But hit that like and subscribe button by accident. Comment what you think below, and I'll see y'all later.